Wiki, welcome, Warcraft 2 fans, to a 2v2 of the century. Today we have up here at the 12 o'clock spot, it is Swift. And allying him in his pursuit of happiness, it is u8t3io3p at the 11 o'clock spot. Then down here at the 6 o'clock spot, it is Logan. And that only leads us to the last player, Steve. So, gonna be an action-packed game here. Forgot about my soup, had to go turn it off. Today's episode brought to you by the pills. So if you like pills, then you definitely will like the Indeed Brewing Company of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Meanwhile, up here at the 12 o'clock position, Swift has swiftly built himself a 2-Rax Rush. And his ally, u8t3io3p, the Polish world champion of the world, gonna be building himself a blacksmith and an inside barracks, so he could put himself a farm and a wall here, or he could just go very defensive. We'll have to see what she chooses to do. He does have a scout beyond out on the map, and Steve is going to be able to see that peon and chase it down to cut it down. Second grunt employed in this operation. So that peon with no chance of survival, he is going to try some shenanigans by popping with a bag of gold, but not going to do the trick. And world champion u8t3io3p up here. Yeah, building the farm and the wall so we can build some grunts to pop out on the outside. In the inside of the base here, Logan just focusing on his 1 barracks rush. The 6 o'clock has so far to mine these bags of gold. Just look at how far they have to mine compared to everybody else's smooth gold flow. So, sad face for him. But, you know, if there's a man who can bring the action, it's Logan. Alright, get yourselves ready for the mid game, as already a wall off is here and a lumber mill from Steve, 00steve. Dun, 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 dun. Meanwhile, but I wish I had a theme music like 00steve's got. Meanwhile, up here, u8t3io3p gonna clash with the forces of Steve. And Steve gonna have a little bit of miggity micro, and both players gonna have such miggity micro awesomeness that makes my head spin. I don't know how these players got to be so good at Warcraft 2, but envy of the world as they, or are they, I should say. Meanwhile, a large push out is not going to be scouted, and Logan's in a bit of trouble. Luckily for him, he's already got the cannon tower of justice, so he'll be able to defend this off pretty easily. Indeed he will. And where did these grunts come from? Steve with the awesome lumber forging party harvesting harassment. Really gonna cut down a couple of wood choppers, and the entire focus of Swift is swiftly not here. It is actually over here where his assault has begun. King of the Warcraft 2 u8t3io3p is attacking this back farm, and you're gonna burn it to the ground. There's not a whole lot that his opponent can do. He does have tier number 2 on the way, but I'm gonna lose a second pig farm for his trouble. So Steve up to tier number 2, but tier number 2 just barely on the table for u8t3io3p. And u8t3io3p gonna be moving on over to town. Steve not gonna find a whole lot of available pickings here. Steve has a pretty good defense, complete with a catapult. Ogre's already popping out, so he's going to try to deal some damage to that ogre before it has the possibility of getting bloodlust. And a pretty sweet, significant lineup here from Swift, who's going to be trying to prevent his opponent from doing any kind of a push-out ogre rush, while he himself indeed only has a level 1 on the table. But u8t3io3p going up to tier number 3 already, so I think he's pretty safe in the knowledge that he can go to tier number 3. Well, his opponent going going for Watchtower before tier number 2. He wants to make sure that he's able to survive any lusted ogre army assaults that might be coming his way early on in this game. The catapult coming out, but deciding to go back in. He'd not going to be accompanying this first wave of bloodlusted ogre army assault. So will they choose to run into the base of Swift, who has nice defenses here? A secondary Watchtower before he goes tier number 3. Wants to make sure he's completely and utterly ready for this bloodlusted ogre assault. And u8t3io3p, dang near bloodlusted ogres himself. So who will win? Oh my gosh. It looks like Swift might have chosen to go tier number 3 a little too late, because he's going to be facing off against two opponents. Count them. Two opponents who will have bloodlusted ogres, and well, he shall have none. Alright, Bloodlust about to have arrived for Steve, if not having arrived already. Nope, it has now arrived. The entire game has now changed for the better or worse. Bloodlust has now arrived on the table for one of these players. Here comes u8t3io3p, nowhere near Bloodlust. He's about to get a pound down in the ground here, as both of these players push out the grunts from Logan, even getting some of that action. How long until Bloodlust is able to get here for u8t3io3p? Just a mere matter of seconds. But it looks like that the army assault is actually moving its way up here towards the 12 o'clock spot. But just so many grunts putting these ogres away. A very good job from Swift, who now is proceeding on to Bloodlust himself after surviving that early. But look, Steve, with the far-sightedness of a man who's got sight into the future. He's already got DKs, he's got a catapult, he's got a cannon tower. No, not likely will this be broken anytime soon. Meanwhile, up here, u8t3io3p, current reigning world champion of the world, has now achieved Bloodlust. So we'll have to see where he decides to make his first openly strike. This DK moving up here. He's going to try for the DK on the gold flow. He'll get it off successfully. And look at the dead bodies everywhere, as so many peons fall victim to that DK. And to add insult to injury, inflow. Logan's bloodlusted ogres. Nowhere near Bloodlust himself. Swift, caught with his knickers down, not gonna be able to decide what to do. He does have level 4 ogres, but level 4 ogres simply get punched in the face when faced up against bloodlusted ogres. u8t3io3p coming in with some bloodlusted ogres of his own, but that's gonna cost him dearly, as his home base is completely on fire, as Steve rampages his home base, destroying utterly every single defensive installment within sight. Steve has the gold flow, though. He already has the 4. He already has the 3. He's going for a trifecta of gold refinement awesomeness, as his gold's flow is unknowably awesome. Here is Swift with Bloodlust, so finally able to, and Steve's going to pause the game and crack his knuckles, crack himself up another great belt, Northeast Amber Lager, and then thank the stars for Body Blazers and Outlaws 214, the YouTube channels of justice. I also want to thank Terracon from Clan Absolute Synergy. So Swift has swiftly resumed the game. I want to thank Truggle from the Truggle Art Show. And we're back into the action. I want to thank ZE Saint for telling me how awesome my commentaries are. Although I already know, it's still nice to hear. Wiki Warcraft 2. Alright, u8t3io3p with the Lusted Ogres. But it looks like he might be taken down by Swift. By Steve. This game, Swift, his ally swiftly getting taken down himself by Steve and Logan. So, Steve, Logan, all kinds of oohs being thrown all over this place. 00, dun, 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 dun. They got their own theme song, which I can never quite completely do right due to copyright infringement, but I can tell you it's a pretty awesome theme song. Here it is playing right now. Dun, 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 as Logan comes smashing into the world champion u8t3io3p's base and cuts down any chance he has of propagating his economy as peons sit idly by in his base, unable to mine because the destructive forces of Logan, named after the child smiling down from heaven, is Logan, as he it's actually Team Dynasty Lux, but when he wants to don his tag, he is representing the child of heaven smiling down on us all in Wiki Warcraft 2 heaven. Here comes Steve. Steve. We specially thank Steve for that multi-$1,000 contribution he made in the year of 2017 to make that 2v2 World Championship of the World really have the impact that it needed to have. And just as he's making the impact in this game, look, even sending a DK, which is walled off by Logan. The teamwork is just wow, my socks knocked completely off in this Wiki Warcraft 2 extravaganza. Let's not count u8t3io3p out quite yet. He is the world champion, has that nice shiny world championship ring to blind his opponents, and now he's grateful he walled that DK off. Gonna cost many peons their life, but look at there, the teamwork of Logan and Steve combining to take down reigning world champion u8t3io3p and Swift in this Warcraft 2 game. Here's another nail in the coffin, as this seems to be a cleanup, ladies and gentlemen. Although u8t3io3p quite heartily harvesting gold from this 9 o'clock spot, it burned his city down nearly, but not nearly enough. Here's a DK though. He's already got ambitious anticipation of coming up here to do a death and decay, and he's being supported by yet another hasted DK coming from the northern sections, who's gonna get that DK off with the greatest of ease. So I want to thank you guys all for tuning in. I want to thank my sponsors, Terracon from Clan Absolute Synergy. The playback is finished. I want to thank the pills from Indeed Brewing Company, and Indeed you too, the Watcher. I want to thank you. Wiki Warcraft 2. Peace out, homies.